look forward to hearing from Chair Maffei and Administrator Phillips on the President's budget request and their agency's priorities for the upcoming year. Stability in the international shipping is integral to a strong economy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, weaknesses in our supply chain were amplified as landside port congestion and unfair shipping practices by foreign ocean carriers led to backlogs and price increases. This in turn contributed, no doubt, to inflation. Tasked with ensuring fairness in international shipping, the FMC has key authorities which allows it to safeguard transparent and equitable maritime commerce. The reforms in the Bipartisan Ocean Shipping Reform Act, which passed out of this subcommittee last Congress before becoming law, strengthened the FMC's authority to investigate unfair ocean shipping carrier fees and facilitate the efficient movement of cargo through U.S. ports. In the 2 years since passage of the Ocean Shipping Reform Act, the FMC has worked expeditiously to utilize their new authorities, establish new regulations around detention and demurrage billing practices, and as a result, have made international shipping more fair for American shippers. It is important that the FMC is sufficiently funded so that it can properly continue to carry out these reforms which benefit American businesses and consumers alike. That is why I am happy to see an $8 million increase in the President's budget request for the FMC. Beyond a fair shipping process, the U.S. economy depends upon a robust maritime industry. I fear that without continued support for our U.S. flag fleet, fair shipping practices will only get us so far. The U.S. merchant marine is shrinking and availability of American merchant mariners is dwindling. This puts our sea lift capabilities, national defense, and economy in jeopardy. More and more, we rely on foreign ocean carriers to transport our goods. It is Merit's responsibility to promote a vibrant maritime industry. I expect to hear today how we can revitalize the American maritime industry. Unfortunately, the fiscal year 2024 appropriations resulted in a substantial cut to Merit discretionary programs meant to support the industry. I worry about the precedent this has created as the fiscal year 25 funding request follows this downward spiral or trend. Merit oversees vital grant programs that fund projects to modernize our infrastructure, including the Maritime Environmental and Technical Assistance Program, or META, and the Port Infrastructure Development Program. The President's budget request includes $6 million for META, which is a $1.5 million decrease over the last year's budget. This is disappointing, to say the least. Decreases over 2 years are not the trend we want to see. This program supports the research, development, and deployment of new technology in the maritime industry, particularly low or zero carbon technologies. These technologies are crucial for reducing harmful emissions and protecting our public health and the environment, especially for port communities where air pollution is statistically worse. We must continue to invest in these programs that foster innovation, not only to address climate change, but also to make the United States a leader in this new technology. The Port Infrastructure Development Program, referred to as PIDP, also supports decarbonization projects, which help reduce emissions and build a more resilient, reliable transportation system. Yet, despite the importance of this program, we saw a substantial decrease in FY24 funding, and the fiscal year 25 budget request follows suit. I am heartened to see an increase in funding for the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. Administrator Phillips has done an excellent job continuing to pursue systematic change to the culture that has resulted in sexual violence and harassment at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy and in the commercial maritime industry. This issue is of the utmost importance, and while our work is not done, I commend your leadership efforts to make the maritime industry a safe and desirable workplace for all. Thank you to our witnesses and attendees for your participation today.